Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is March the 22nd of 2022. I think it was yesterday that the United States president said that this was a new world order and that we should lead it. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, but it's just a conspiracy theory. And all I can say is, well, we told you so. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. And today, we're going to be reading Psalm 119. This is MEM. This is the 13th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It is, they say, numerical value of 40, and it means several related meanings. Waters, peoples, nations, languages, tongues. The name of the letter probably signifies, that's right, water itself. And in its most ancient forms, bore a resemblance to waves of water, such as MEM represents the sea of Torah, knowledge, wisdom, etc. Okay. And there's other different things. The gematria of it is where was it? I was just looking in here. It's where was it? I'm looking. Hold on. I can't find it now. It just said that. Yeah, gematria for these components, for the way that it's put together. The gematria for these components equals the value for the divine name. And they liken it to the living water. Christ gives us the living water. And then, of course, 40. So many different uses for the number 40 within the Bible. The 40 days and nights of the flood, the 40 years in the wilderness, the 40 days Moses was on Mount Sinai, etc., etc. 40 days of fasting, 40 days from conception to the initial formation of the fetus. Oh, 40 weeks of gestation until birth. Okay. 40 years of age before a man develops insight. When is that a thing? When is... I'm going to look that up here. Hold on a second, guys. 40 years... I don't think I've ever heard that before. And of course, you get nothing. So, because the world isn't going to teach you how these things. I do find that interesting though, because it's like I said before. I was awakened to all of this right after my 40th birthday. Anywhere within the week after my 40th birthday. So it's interesting that that's there. 40 has a specific meaning to me. And to see that makes me wonder if that's actually a thing. I'm sure in God's plan it is. Because again, 40 it's a big number. All right, so we'll go through this. It is raining today. We're supposed to get some moderate rain today, and it's going to rain all day. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully, nothing happens. Um, we have steps in place in case that the water starts coming in the house again. Um, I just got everything dried out. everything is everything is dried out and nice, and the basement is livable, and it smells okay, and it's you know I got everything set back in place, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. So we've done as much as we can to try to keep it out of the basement as much as possible, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out how bad it gets today. I can always do more. I know I can always do more, but we're gonna pray to the Father today that it stays dry in the house. All right. So, anyways, go ahead and go through this. MEM. Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Thou through thy commandments hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. How sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Amen. All right. Before we go back through this, we're going to take a couple seconds here. Hold on. I've been thinking about it over the past couple years. Why have we not, in all of our technological advancements, been able to create a pause button while recording? Especially for like a video. I'm sure there's probably some video recording software out there that probably has a pause button. But for recording live video, it seems that there's just not a pause button. It's like you have to constantly go in there and edit it out, and then you have to reprocess that video in order to make it a thing. It's just like, why can't we figure out how to be able to edit on the fly with video by now? It doesn't make any sense. And by editing with the video, that also includes pausing and unpausing. Being able to take it out without having to reprocess the whole thing. That's, why have we not figured that out yet? Is it just me? Is it just because I'm just too lazy to process a video? It's just weird. It just seems like we're back in the... Oh, we're not even back in the days of whenever you used to put stuff on tape. It used to be so easy just to record a thing, hit pause for something you don't want, and then re-record. And there was a split right there. Whenever you do digital, though, it's like you have to make it all a file. Why can't we just automatically have it as a file? And I'm sure people don't understand what I'm saying. Video editors would, but it's one of those things where it's just like, it would be really nice for me just to be able to hit like the space bar or something, and it would pause my recording as I was going, and then I could hit it again and it would be recording again. And as soon as I'm done with it, it would just process the video with that pause in there and we would all be good. But the current way we do it is that's just not how it works. You would think it would be easier than this, but of course, they don't want it to be that easy. They want it to be hard, for reasons, and probably the reasons are because they want to be able to have all the power, and they don't want to give us any power because New World Order and stuff. It's unbelievable. They just come right out and say it right in the open, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, sure." Not even thinking that that's not what you want. That's not the thing that you want. The thing that they're saying that they want to do, that's not what you want. That's something completely different. You don't want none of that, but you're just going to go right along with it anyways because you're going to fall for every single trick in the book because they don't love you. They don't love you. They don't like you. They don't like the way that you live. They don't like your freedom. They don't like anything about you. They don't like your God. They don't like your God because your God gets in the way of their unrighteousness. That's the biggest takeaway from this whole thing. Because our God tells us not to be that sick and disturbing. But it gets in their way of being unrighteous. It gets in their way of ruling over the people. It gets in their way of the lies. And that's why they don't want you to do it. That's why they don't want you to know this stuff. That's why I've been kicked off of Facebook I don't know how many times. That's why I've had videos pulled off of YouTube. That's why they constantly shadow ban me down, and this isn't like you don't hear this stuff. That's why all of these videos off of YouTube have disappeared. That's why everybody has gone off to these other websites that half the time don't work right because they're not part of the mainstream. Because they don't want you to hear this. They don't want you to have the ultimate freedom to be able to hear the truth. Because once you hear the truth, once everybody is able to hear the truth, they will rebel. They will rebel against the evils of this world. That's been the crux of everything I've tried to do for the past 5 years. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. Is to try to get the truth out. And I was just thinking about it as I was getting ready today about the people that I know are so willfully ignorant. I have been told flat out to stop talking about certain things. I've been told by somebody in particular that they were tired of seeing something that I post on Facebook. I post it on Facebook every day. Just a simple little phrase. You are being lied to. Every day. I've done it now. For the past, I just started it about a couple months ago. But every day, it's just a simple little phrase. You are being lied to. Because there are some times when I get on Facebook, I don't care to post anymore. I will repost memories from a year before, but nobody's seeing those either because most of those are gone. But I said, I want to have something every year, every day of every year that, I think the biggest thing was that they can use repetition constantly against us over and over and over again. And, no one seems to bat an eye when they do it. but you're still being brainwashed by it over and over and over again. The same old thing, repetition, redundancy, and repetition. It's the three R's of education. And I came at it that way. Just that, fine, I'll do my own repetition. I'll say the same thing every single day as long as I can before they finally take it off. They'll probably institute a law or law, you hear me? A rule, not a law. They'll probably institute a rule on Facebook or Twitter or something within the next, I don't know how many months, where it'll say something like you can't have a repost of something that, you've already done before. Something to save the servers or something, or like a spam thing. And then I'll probably have all of those taken down anyways, because that's how it works. It seems like every single time I try to do something, it fails. But I was told, because people don't know how to use Facebook. They thought that I was sending it to them directly. And I said, no. I said, I post something on my wall, and all my friends, if they choose to, they can see it. If you don't want to see it, you can always unfollow me. And I was told, make it stop. Willfully ignorant. That's willful ignorance. It's if you feel like being that willfully ignorant, then maybe you ought to just unfollow me anyways. Because I'm going to sit out here and I'm going to say the truth for as long as I can, as loud as I can, because I'm trying to wake people up. Because we're in the mess now. We're in the shitstorm now. It's gotten way past the point where we can, just let it go. You can't just let this go anymore. It's there. It's in your face now. It's in your face, and they are bragging about it at this point. So what are you doing about it? A lot of people are just being willfully ignorant. A lot of other people are just they're to the point now where they are telling me to stop trying to wake them up. It's insane, man. Absolutely insane. Okay. So we're going to go back through this. MEM represents waters, divine truth, the waters that Christ bathes us in, baptizes us in, is the truth. It is that knowledge. It is the thirst for the knowledge and the truth. So we're going to reread through this with that understanding. Starting from the top. Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Thou, through thy commandments, hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. And that is exactly what it does. It gives you the truth. It gives you understanding more than your enemies. Your enemies are around you constantly. And through God's commandments, He is with you. And He makes you wiser than your enemies. He will make you wiser than your enemies. He will give you the ability to fight them off. He gives you the ability to fight back. But again, they're not teaching you about fighting back. They're just teaching you how to go along to get along. Said that many times. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. I hear that, and the first thing that pops into my head is it says, I cannot remember where it says it. Um, in the end days, the Gentiles to will come back to God and say, "Surely we have inherited lies." I'm gonna look that up. And of course, I spelled inherited wrong. Oh, there's one in Jeremiah. Hold on a second here. Is it just Jeremiah? Hey, man, Jeremiah. I'll tell you what. That's a heck of a book. Jeremiah 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Surely our fathers have inherited lies. That was one of the very first things that really woke me up to just about everything, because I stopped right there and I said, that is exactly what's happening. The people that don't know any better, the Gentiles, shall come back to God and say, we have inherited lies. We weren't told lies. We weren't put into lies. We inherited lies. That means our fathers, our grandfathers, gave us lies because they were lied to. We inherited lies. We inherited vanity. And we inherited all of these things in which there is no profit. There is nothing of any value whatsoever in these things. This is what we inherited. We are supposed to be inheriting the wealth of our fathers so that we can take that and use it to make a family of our own, to have our own place in this life, in this world. But we have inherited nothing. I will inherit nothing. And my parents barely inherited anything from their fathers, from their parents. I don't know about my grandfathers. I don't know if they inherited anything or not. Before that, it used to be a thing where you passed down your inheritance to your children. And it would be a plot of land, it would be wealth, it would be all of this stuff. I will probably get nothing. And I understand that. I understand that concept. There will be nothing for me. When my parents die, there will be nothing for me. There will be nothing for me whenever my when my grandmother dies. There was, there will probably be nothing. What will I inherit? Lies. All I will get. Lies and vanity and things wherein there is no profit. And I come to God every single day, every single morning. I come down here before I start this, and I put my Bible down on my desk, and I bend over and I pray. And I every single day I come to God and I say, just give me wisdom. There is nothing here for me anymore. I have inherited lies. Because there's nothing. It's all nonsense. I understand that now. This was one of those verses that, as soon as I read it, that was the first thing that just really, I think that was one of the first ones, and then it was like after that it was the one about it's the glory of God to hide a thing. It's the honor of kings to search thing out. God will There's been a couple different places where I've talked about God hiding a thing from the unrighteous because they choose to live in the unrighteous. They would rather believe the lie. I've talked about that kind of stuff. He gives them the lie because they would choose to live in the lie instead of even remotely hearing the truth. And that follows along with, God hiding a thing. Is you have to search it out. You have to find it. I think about all the people that, the jokes that always been like, hey, have you found God yet? It's like you don't find God so much as he finds you, and he gives you the pieces to be able to find it, to find him, because he's there. He's always there. You don't have to find him. You just have to look up. You have to just look up and just talk to him. Just pray. That's all you have to do. He's right there. It's not like some big dark secret. But the truth of this world is hidden. It is hidden from the unrighteous because they choose to believe in the lies of this world. So God makes it appear that way. And we've talked about this before as it goes with the stars and the planets and the heavens and all that stuff. I think Enoch said that the matter of everything off of this world of space and all of that will be hidden from them because they choose not to hear it. They choose to believe in a lie, so God will give them the lie. I don't remember how exactly it was said, and since I've moved, all of my notes have just gone scattered everywhere. I used to have these things, like I know I've said before, I used to have these things written down on notepads, on little, post-it notes all over my desk, and I could look right down on my desk and I could be like, there's that. Oh, there's that. There's this, but it's not here anymore. It's just not here anymore. I got to pull those back up. The only one I still have is the what is this? Ephesians 6:10, which is talking about the armor of God. It's the only note that I have left that's in front of me. They're all in a pile. I got to find those, but yes, I understand more than the ancients because we have inherited lies. That's exactly what that says to me. I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. And I am trying to refrain my feet from every evil way. It is so hard in this world. It seems like everything we do anymore is just some kind of sin against God. This world has made it to where it's just evil continually. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. How sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. And that goes back one more time to that same understanding. Through your precepts, I get the truth. I get understanding. Understanding is the truth. I get the truth. Therefore, I hate every false way. I hate every lie. Because I have the truth now. You have given me the truth. You've shown me the truth. You've shown me the way. And I hate every false way. And we've talked about that before as well. About people hating. Oh, you're not supposed to hate. You're supposed to love. You're supposed to love and be kind and be gentle and be subversive and all this other kind of stuff. Remember that? There is a time for love and there's a time for hate. I was thinking about this the other day. You are not called to be subversive unto other people. Especially when it comes to living life. I had it in my head because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about writing it down, but I didn't get a chance to because I was doing something. But it popped into my head that we are to love others as we love ourselves. That does not mean we are to submit ourselves to others, because we would not want to be ruled over. Or submitted to, if that makes any sense. I've thought several times that if I had to make a choice between doing something that I or not doing something because I didn't think it was right, especially if it had to do with something that went against my morals and my values, but it was something that offended a family member, let's just say. And if they came back on me and they said, "Well, if you're trying to be so good and nice, aren't you supposed to act how you want to be treated?" And I would say yes, I would like to I would like to be treated a certain way. So I'm not going to submit myself to this world for you. But if I were you, I would want someone to tell me the truth. If that makes any sense. I can't get it to come out right. I can't get it the way that I was thinking. I would like to be treated the way that I would want to be treated. So I would rather know the truth than to live in a lie and subjugate myself to this world. There you go. That's how it works. I would rather know the truth than to subjugate myself to this world, which holds no truth, holds no value, holds nothing. We just read it right there. We have inherited lies. We have inherited vanity. We have inherited all the things that have no profit, that hold no profit whatsoever. I would rather be told about these things than submit myself to a world that holds no value. That there's nothing to it. I want truth. So I would rather tell you the truth and not submit myself to you or this world because of that. That's how I would want to be treated. Treat others as you would treat yourself. That is exactly how I would want to be treated. I don't see how people don't get that concept. There's a lot of people that are going to say, "Oh no, that's not the way it works. That's not how it works at all. You see, you're supposed to." No, I think that's exactly how it works. I think that's exactly how the understanding of it works, is that I don't want to live in a lie. I don't want others to live in a lie. So I would rather tell you the truth than just bend over and willingly take it. I'm sorry, it's just not how it works. And we have seen, people want to say, all you got to do is follow history to understand how the world works. You want to follow history to understand how the world works? People have been bending over, bending down, taking the knee submitting themselves because they were told to submit themselves for years upon years upon years, and where's it gotten us? Where are we now? These people are openly talking about the New World Order. They don't care anymore. They have figured out the formula to get people to be scared of living so much to the point that they can now say whatever they want to, they can do whatever they want to, and they have it all working in the background and nobody's paying attention. They literally have a concrete wall set up outside of the White House, and the American people let them do it because they would rather believe the lie, live in this unrighteous world, believe the lie so much that they just let it happen because they think that's the way it's supposed to happen. And where are you now? And that's where we are. So I can't. I can go on forever on that, and I don't want to, man. I can make entire videos of that, and sooner or later I'm going to say something that's just going to put me back in the YouTube doghouse, and there is a part of me that just wants to let it all go. There is. That just like a lot of other people. So many people I've seen over the past couple years that have just said, oh, the people of this world just aren't paying attention anymore, so I'm not going to worry about trying to wake you up anymore. And they disappeared. And nobody's out there spreading the truth, the real truth. It's just a bunch of little guys like me that refuse to give up, and nobody's listening to us. All the big boys out there that need to be talking, they're not talking. Most of them have given up and walked away. They took their ball, they went home. They're going to go hide inside of their 3 years worth of non-perishable goods and hope that the nightmare scenarios of this world don't come right to their doorstep. It is absurd. They have just given up because they think that people aren't listening, and people aren't listening. That doesn't mean you don't stop. Or does that make sense? That doesn't mean you stop. Jeez. It doesn't mean I had to think about it. It doesn't mean you stop trying to wake people up. You have to keep going because people aren't going to know. You have to keep trying to wake people up, trying to show people the truth. If they don't want to see it, then fine, walk away, try somebody else. The person that told me that they didn't want to see me posting every day over and over and over again, that they said they didn't want to follow me anymore, or they didn't want to see me do it. They told me personally to make it stop. So I went into Facebook and I made every post visible to everyone else except for that one person. You don't want to see it? Fine, whatever. You don't get to see it. That's your willful ignorance. I can't help you if you're going to be willfully ignorant. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. So, there you go. Somewhere down the line, I might take that off, and, they come back to me. I'll be like, look, you got to be the one to take it off this time. Because I've already done my part. I thought about doing that, but I was like, you know what? That's just not. I'm not going to be that kind of a jerk about it. I get it. That's like the fourth or fifth time that I've had that conversation with that person. It's like, you don't want to hear it. Fine. Wipe the dust off my feet and walk away. That's exactly what the Bible says. MEM, 13th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. 13-letter Hebrew alphabet having the numerical value of 40. Pictograph for M looks like a wave of water. It looks like an M. What do you think? Of course it looks like an M. It's water. It's waves. Whereas classical Hebrew script is constructed of a kaf and a vav beside it. Kaf and a vav with a vav beside it. Seems like a lot of these are kafs and vavs. Note that the gematria for these components equal the value of the divine name. In Jewish mysticism, MEM is the letter of water, symbolizing the spring of the Torah. Just as the waters of an underground spring rise upward from an unknown source to reveal themselves, so does the spring of wisdom rise up from the mysterious source that is God. So there you go. The meaning of MEM traditionally, MEM has several related meanings: waters, peoples, nations, languages, and tongues. The name of the letter probably signifies water itself, and its most ancient forms bore a resemblance to waves of water. As such, MEM represents the Sea of Torah, the ocean of Talmud, knowledge and wisdom. Again, I want to point this back just for people that still don't know it or understand it. When it says at the end of days, wars, famines, pestilence, nation will rise against nation, the word that they use there is ethnos. It does not necessarily mean a country or a nation of people. It can mean the race, color of people. Ethnicities shall rise against ethnicities. Just for anybody that doesn't know, every time I see nations and I think of the Bible, some of the times whenever you see nations in the Bible, it just literally means nations. It depends on what the Strong's Concordance says. But other words, especially the ones that come whenever it talks about nations shall rise against nation, when you look that up and it flat out says race, creed, and you're just like, wow, you know? So that's a thing. That's just something to look out for. I always kind of point that out to people. You ever want to know what days you're in? Or, more to the point, do you ever want to know what days you're in or what the people of this world might confuse you into believing what days you're in? Because again, it doesn't have to just mean an entire country rising up against another country. It doesn't have to just be, America fighting Russia. It doesn't have to be just that. Nations have fought against nations all the time. That happens constantly. The nation of oh God, if I say that, I might get banned. The people of Jerusalem, the people that came out of Egypt, that were all born from Jacob. Is it that hard to say Israel, really? Then again, apparently saying the word Gentile or Goyim by itself is it's anti-Semitic. So you can't even say that anymore. It's just ridiculous. But they were rising up against other nations, whenever they left Egypt. That's the nation of. I can't. You can't say that though, can you? That's the people of Jacob. There you go. The people of Israel rose up against the giants. Rose up against the giants of the valley. There you go. That's the way to do it. Um, rose up against Og, and the Ammonites, the Hittites, the Amalekites, the Jebusites, the I used to know them all. I used to be able to recite the whole line. Now I can't recite the whole line anymore. Um, but yeah, that was nation rise against nation. So where's the war then? Or where's the end of the world then? I mean, come on. Countries have been fighting other countries for years. Yeah, but this is legit. Ethnos will rise against ethnos. Ethnicities will rise against ethnicities, and there will be plagues and famines, and the whole deal. Uh, Somebody said once, if it's a plague, will it be a real plague or a fake plague? And I kind of stopped and thought, oh, yeah, wait a minute. You got to remember this was them being able to see into the future. It doesn't mean that it was what it was. So I don't know. I don't know. It is the glory of God to hide a thing. It is the honor of kings to search a thing out. It is your honor to go hunt these things down. Find out for yourself. Don't listen to me. Don't trust me. The gematria of MEM, as indicated above, the letter MEM is composed of two parts, a vav and a kaf. The gematria of these parts is 26, the same value for the sacred name Yahweh. Okay. In traditional Hebrew gematria, MEM has the value of 40 and is thereby associated with the following: the 40 days and nights of flood waters, the 40 years in the wilderness, the 40 days Moses was on Mount Sinai, the 40 days of Silicote. It's before Rosh Hashanah, which I think it comes after is that the one that comes after the the Feast of First Fruits? And then 40 days after is Rosh Hashanah, and then it goes into the Feast of Trumpets. Is that right? Is that what I'm thinking, or am I thinking about something else? I might be thinking about something else. I don't know the. I don't know the. I don't know the festivals as well as I should, and I admit that. I am not keen to everything, and that is part of asking for the wisdom of it, because we don't know everything. What's even worse is all the people that are out there that claim that they know everything. They may not know everything, because there are still some things that not even the calendar itself could be off too. We don't even know what year it is. We know certain things. We know that from the spring solstice, which just happened. What's today, right? Is it 22nd? March 22nd? It's the first day of spring. Is that right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? But we know that from that point, it's either the first full moon, or it's the first new moon. I don't know. There's a lot of contention about that too. From that point, you count. I think it was it like 14 days from that point, and that is the Passover. And then from there, it's the 7 days, and then the Feast of First Fruits, and then I think it's what it is. I think it's 40 days from that point. You go through, and then there's something, and then it's a certain amount of time after that. See, I know some. I don't know all of it. It's hard to know, man, because you're not taught these things. but it's in the Bible. You know all the holidays of this world that are all pagan holidays that come from pagan customs that, you were lied to as a child, that, you've inherited lies and vanity and things that have no profit in them. But I'm just saying, man, you go through this stuff and you put it all together, and it's just like, it makes you really question everything beyond everything, because you're here in this point, and it's just so much. There's just so many lies. That's why I say everything is a lie now. Everything. You are being lied to, period. There's just so many lies. MEM represents divine omnipresence. The Hebrew name of God is Makom, okay, meaning place. Note that this name includes both an open and a closed mem, and they were saying something about the mems being open and closed. I don't remember exactly what it meant. And there's other stuff. You can go through this, and the Jesus Gives Living Water. You can go look this stuff up if you want to. You can probably find better places where you can find it and all that fun stuff. Put that back in there. Okay. I am already logged into the computer, and I am ready to go. So I'm going to leave it there. I got to take a walk through the basement to see how the water's doing. I have not heard the secondary sump pump drain anything yet, which I guess is okay. I might have to go out and check the gutters and see. I think just cleaning the gutters, I will admit part of our problem might have been that we didn't clean the gutters before, the rains hit. And that might have caused the gutter to overflow and the water to come into the house. At the same time, before we moved in, they had cleaned the gutters out, and we still got this kind of flooding. So we still have a problem somewhere. And I still say that part of that problem is that those gutters are bad. My wife, she said that she texted somebody to come out and look at them. A friend of ours suggested somebody that does them for cheap. So hopefully we can get somebody out here to check that out. Let's see, what is that? There it is again. You know how you get on a computer and you have the icons down at when you're on Windows, and you have the icons down on the bottom right hand side. And as soon as you try to click on one, it disappears, and you just gotta wonder, what were you? Why were you sitting on my computer like that? So anyways, I'm gonna get going so I can go to work. Thank you guys for coming around, listening to me ramble yet again. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. God, don't believe the lies of this world, man. It's still there, coming faster and faster. I know I have said that I have not been paying attention to much because it is not my place right now to pay attention. God has shifted my focus to other things. So it is not for me to constantly be on, BitChute and Twitter and, all this other kind of stuff, trying to find every little thing that happens in this world. It is not for me right now. And that's mostly, I think, because I told him that I can't handle all of that. It was getting to be a bit much. I do check every now and then just to see how things are going, and nothing's changing. Not much is changing at all, but I you know, I got out of doing it every day because it was overwhelming me. But that does not mean I'm going to tell everyone to just go stick their head in the dirt and the sand and, go down to your fallout bunker and load your guns and have a seat on your 3-year supply of food, and not try to wake people up. Always try to wake people up. I'm not going to say that you can use my words to do it. But if you think that anything I say can help somebody else, feel free. I am not a perfect person. I do not have all the answers. 9 times out of 10, I will say I'm probably wrong. But I think if it can help, we should at least try. Keep trying to wake people up. So we're just trying to save that one person. Because again, the majority of people, we have already said, they have made up their minds to either be willfully ignorant or blind, and they are just going to fall into the pit, and that's going to be on them. Some people just can't save. So I'm going to go. Thank you guys again. I will talk to y'all later. Take care, guys.